Hi, I'm going to be showing Harriet how to use ClassDojo. We teach together at Temple Israel in Westport, and I found that it's really great for my students to be able to work on community building and have them take ownership in what they're doing in class, both as far as submitting work and behavior. And it also gives parents an opportunity to view what their student has been doing, as we have a class blog that we use to share what we've been doing in class, and we can share photos and we can share files for either flyers or work. And now I'm going to show Harriet how to use it.
Okay, great.
Okay, so the first thing is, let me just tell you a little bit about how ClassDojo works. We give points to our students for either positive behavior or behavior that needs work. So we're really stressing positive behaviors, and they will lose points if they need work on something. We don't call it a bad behavior, we just say that it's something that they need to improve. So first I'm going to ask you to log in to ClassDojo.com. Great.
Okay.
And you're going to sign up on the top right. You're going to click on the sign up tab as a teacher, and then you're going to put your name in,
Okay.
your email, and a password. What I did was I created a slide presentation to use to present this material. I find that by creating a script, it's really very helpful to do this. Okay, great. Now let's just put in our Temple Israel, which should be there. I'm actually the mentor for Dojo, so I'm the one that you come to with any questions. Click request to join your school.
Okay.
And then let's just click cancel, because we're not going to add a class that way. Okay, so this is your main screen, and this is what you're going to see every time that you sign into Dojo. So if you take a look under PD resources, you're going to see that there are some videos that you can view. There are resources that you can go to if you have any questions, or you can absolutely ask me anything you need to know. So let's go back to our home screen, and there's your school. Let's scroll all the way down. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add a class. We're going to make this a demo class, but you can just put down whatever you want. So click on add a class, please.
Okay.
Put in the class name and the grade, and then click on add class.
Okay. Got it.
Wonderful. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to start adding your students, and there are a couple of different ways to do that. You can either put in their name manually, or if you click on the top right hand corner of the box on your screen, you can insert students' names either from a Word document or from an Excel spreadsheet. So you might find it easier to use the Excel spreadsheet that they give us with all of our students, or you might just want to type them in manually. That's really, that's your choice. So you can either do it first name, last name, or last name, first name.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, great. Okay, so let's put in a couple of students. Great. Put in the name and then just click add, and it's going to assign an avatar to them, which you can actually change once their parents have accepted your invitation and the students have also joined your class. They can change their avatar. Okay, great. So let's say we're done adding students. You put 2 students in the class.
Okay.
All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to customize the skills. You can add positive points for skills. They give you a template with some right there. As you can see what they are, you can add skills. I personally have them get a point for when they donate tzedakah, which is charity. And at the end of the year, for those of you who don't know how we do these things, we have the students each bring in Sadaka money each week, and we collect it, and in the end of the year we donate it to a charity that the class has chosen. So you can add whatever tasks you want under positive tasks, and then you can go into needs work, and you can add tasks in needs work also, and skills.
Got it. Okay.
Okay, you can change that whenever you want. So let's click next. Okay, so next we're going to invite students and the parents. Okay, so there are two ways to do it. Let's click on Get Invites. And it's going to prepare actually a flyer for you to send home with your student.
I see. Okay.
Okay? And so when you click Done with Invites, it's going to pop up with the invitations. Okay, now if you go to Settings on the top right hand side, you can also do invitations under the tab that says, on the drop down, it says Connect Parents and Connect Students. So you have the option, instead of printing up the flyer, that you can send them an actual email or a telephone invite.
Okay.
Just by providing their email address or the telephone number. Okay, so, and you invite the students separately, and then you invite the parents. And you see as they accept, so it's really nice. You can keep track, and you can resend emails if you have to. Great, so let's X out of the invitations.
All right.
Okay. And now let's look at your class. So there are a couple of things that you can do. You either have all of your students and the points that they've accumulated in front of you. You can create groups, which is a tab right next to the Students tab. So if you click on that, you can add to your class, you can create a class group. So you can have, if you're having students all sitting at one table, you can make them into a group.
Got it.
If you want to have, however you want to do it, you can make groups. So, great. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at class stories on the top of the page. And a class story is basically your class blog. And what I did this year was I used it, instead of using an email, a weekly email to the parents. And where is my timer? Here. Anyway, so you can just upload a photo. You can upload a file just by clicking on photo or file. You can attach a Word document. You can attach whatever you need to. And then you can post them, and you can write a little story about what you've done in class that day. You can have the students write about it. If you switch into student mode, which if you see is right up here on the top, and go into student mode, there's another way to access it, and you can have all the class devices by using the code sheet or from the Class Dojo app. You can do it either way.
Okay.
Okay, so let's get out of the student mode. So the parents view this. They get to see what their child is doing. They get to see photographs. It's a really nice way for parents to keep up to date on what their students are doing. Okay, so messaging up on the top right of your screen is another way to keep in touch with your parents. You can either message a single parent to say little Johnny isn't up on his reading, or you can message all the parents to say don't forget the Purim Carnival is Sunday morning.
Got it.
So you can really reach everybody. Okay, so let's take a look. Let's go back out of messaging, go up to classroom, and let's scroll all the way down to the bottom this time.
Okay.
And there's a guide to your first week. That's going to be good. Okay, so you can show the students a video. You can see what you can be doing for the first week. And then, showing you what skills you're going to be encouraging. You can discuss that with your students. And then you can give lots of Class Dojo points so that the kids will be really excited about and wanting to use it.
Got it.
Okay, great. Let's go out of that and go back into your class, in the class that you created.
Okay.
Right there. That one.
Yep.
Okay, good. Now, there are all sorts of tabs down on the bottom of your class. that are very useful to use. The one that I find the most useful is the attendance tab, where you can mark students present, tardy, leaving early, or absent. And the default is present, so the green is going to be present. But if you click on one of the names of your students, you'll see that it's going to turn to red, meaning that they're absent. So it's a nice, easy way for you to keep track of who's been there when, especially when we've turned in our attendance sheets to the office and we're not sure exactly who's where and who hasn't been there. Okay, great. So there are other tabs on the bottom. So let's get out of this one. Just hit cancel on the bottom right.
Okay.
Great. Okay, if you go to student mode, that's another way to get into student mode.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's get out of that and go to the next one, which is Big Ideas. They just offer suggestions for things that you might want to do.
I see. Okay.
So if you might, it shows you about teaching about social and emotional learning, mindfulness and gratitude, and a growth mindset, and all kinds of very interesting subjects that are very important for teachers, as you know. So just click on this tab up here, right, because that opened up a separate tab. And let's X out of this. Okay. You also have a timer, which is really nice if you want to count down or use it as a stopwatch to time your students, because I know that we often time them in how fluent they are in their reading, or if we want to time and assign a class project or something, we say, okay, you have 3 minutes to do your do now, you know, let's start now.
Got it.
And you have the timer. Great. So let's click on the gear wheel on the top, and I'm going to show you something that's very, very important. If you've just, your students have reached 100 points and they've earned a party, you may want to reset the bubbles. So if you just click on the reset bubbles, it will allow you to reset either for certain students or groups, and you can just reset the bubbles and go back down to 0, and the students get to work to start all over again.
Right.
So that's a basic overview of Dojo. Do you have any questions, do you think?
I don't think so. It seems very straightforward, and there certainly seem to be ample resources within the tool to provide you certainly with guidance for them, to get started.
Right, and if you click on the question mark up on the top right of the page, you'll also have, they have a help desk.
Got it.
So most of the questions are answered there.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that, yeah, there's lots of stuff there. And that's really, how you use it. Feel free to ask me if you have any questions.
I will.
And
thank you.
Good luck with Dojo.
Thank you so much.